Chalk Ants chocolate refers to chocolate products, typically dark chocolate bars, embedded with whole-dried ants. The most notable variety uses lemon ants, Myrmellachista schumani, from the Amazon, which contain formic acid that produces a sharp, citrusy flavor. Paired with dark chocolate, this acidity mimics the tartness of fruit. High-end chocolatiers in Europe and North America have incorporated ants for flavor complexity and texture contrast. The ants are freeze-dried or dried before being pressed into the chocolate surface or mixed into the mold. Their nutritional contribution at the quantities used is minimal. The primary purpose is flavor and texture. Fried scorpions are a widely sold street food in China, particularly along Wangfujing Street in Beijing, where whole scorpions are skewered and deep-fried until crispy. The species used is typically the Chinese golden scorpion, Mesobuthus martensi. The frying process fully denatures the venom proteins, rendering them harmless. The texture is uniformly crunchy, similar to fried shrimp shell, with a savory and faintly bitter flavor. Scorpions are arthropods, not insects in the strict biological sense. They belong to the class Arachnida, but are commonly grouped with edible insects under entomophagy, the broader practice of eating arthropods as food. Mopane worms are the caterpillars of the emperor moth, Gonambrasia bellina, named after the mopane trees they feed on across southern Africa. After harvesting, the caterpillars are squeezed to remove gut contents, then sun-dried or smoked to extend shelf life. They can be eaten dry as a crunchy snack or rehydrated and cooked in tomato sauce with onions and spices. Dried mopane worms contain up to 60% protein and are rich in iron, calcium, and phosphorus. They are a critical protein source in rural communities and are sold canned in some markets. Dried worms taste earthy and smoky. Cooked in sauce, they become chewy and meaty. Witchetty grub is the larva of several moth species, most notably Endoxyla leucomachla, found in the roots of witchetty bushes in the Australian desert. They are a traditional food of Aboriginal Australians and among the most calorie-dense bush foods available. Eaten raw, the grub tastes similar to almonds. Cooked in hot ashes or lightly fried, the skin becomes crispy while the inside takes on a texture and taste resembling scrambled eggs or chicken. A single grub can be several inches long. Witchetty grubs are high in protein, oleic acid, and fat, making them a highly efficient energy source where other food is scarce. Cricket flour tortillas are flatbreads made by replacing a portion of conventional flour with cricket flour, a fine powder ground from dried whole crickets, typically Aceta domesticus. Cricket flour is roughly 65% protein by weight and contains all 9 essential amino acids, making it a complete protein. It has a mild, nutty flavor that integrates into baked goods without significantly altering taste. In tortillas, cricket flour is blended with corn masa or wheat flour at ratios between 10 and 30%. The resulting tortilla looks and handles almost identically to conventional versions, but delivers significantly more protein per serving. Wasp crackers, known in Japanese as jibachi senbei, are rice crackers containing digger wasps, Vespula flaviceps, produced in the Omachi region of Nagano Prefecture. The wasps are boiled, dried, then mixed into rice cracker batter before baking. The crackers are darker and denser than standard senbei, with wasps visible as small dark inclusions throughout. The cracker itself is savory and slightly sweet, while the wasps contribute a subtle nutty bitterness. Production is small-scale and community-organized. The crackers are a regional specialty rooted in the wasp-eating traditions of the Japanese Alps and are not mass-produced. Bamboo worm chips are a packaged snack in Thailand made from the larvae of Omphisa fusidentalis, which naturally live inside bamboo stalks. The larvae are extracted, cleaned, deep-fried, and seasoned, commonly with salt, barbecue, or cheese-flavored coatings, then sold in small bags similar to conventional chips. After frying, the texture is light and crispy, and the mild, slightly fatty flavor absorbs seasoning well. Bamboo worm chips are commercially produced and available in Thai convenience stores. The larvae are approximately 28% protein by dry weight. Cricket protein bars are energy bars using cricket powder as the primary protein source in place of or alongside whey, soy, or pea protein. The powder is combined with oats, nuts, honey, or chocolate chips depending on formulation, then compressed into bar form. Cricket protein contains all essential amino acids and is also a source of vitamin B12, iron, and prebiotic fiber from chitin, the structural material in the cricket's exoskeleton. Chitin functions similarly to dietary fiber and has shown potential benefits for gut microbiome diversity. Several dedicated insect food companies produce these bars commercially in North America and Europe. Stink bug sauce is a condiment made in parts of southern Africa and Central America using species such as the African stink bug, Encosternum delagorge. The bugs are soaked in hot water to neutralize their chemical defense secretions, the compounds responsible for their odor, then dried and ground into a paste or powder. In Zimbabwe, the sauce seasons stews and grain dishes, functioning similarly to a fermented condiment. The flavor is rich and earthy. In dried form, the bugs store well without refrigeration, making them a practical ingredient in regions without consistent food supply chains. Black soldier fly larvae snacks come from Hermetia illucens, an insect central to sustainable food systems. The larvae are fed on organic waste, food scraps, brewery byproducts, or agricultural residue, converting low-value matter into high-protein biomass efficiently. Once harvested, they are cleaned, blanched, then roasted, dried, or freeze-dried before seasoning and packaging. They contain roughly 40% protein and 30% fat by dry weight, with the fat including lauric acid, which has antimicrobial properties. Their application in direct human consumption is growing across Europe and Southeast Asia. Entomopasta is pasta made by incorporating insect flour, most commonly cricket flour or mealworm flour from Tenebrio molitor, into conventional semolina dough. Mealworm flour has a mild, nutty flavor and light color that blends naturally into pasta. Higher insect flour concentrations increase protein content without significantly changing texture or cooking behavior. Entomopasta has been approved for sale across several European Union countries following updated EU regulations on novel foods that authorize specific insect species as food ingredients. The pasta cooks identically to conventional pasta while delivering meaningfully higher protein content per serving. If you have just learned something new, please support the channel by clicking subscribe.